Stuttgart, the 17th of January 2019. I've got a couple of vans here in front of me right now, and which I'm going to talk about. Now, before you write in the comment section, I don't like that, I am going to explain to you what it's all about. Now, inside these vans, they don't look as nice as, for example, this hobby over here, nor are they as practical as this hobby over here, but they do have a rather clever idea behind them, which is to do with taxation. Now, within the European Union, taxation is different from one country to the other, as it is within various states. If you buy a van for your own personal use, you may not, possibly, you probably won't be able to claim back tax. You might even be able to claim back fuel or VAT, VAT on the fuel, VAT being purchase tax. On the other hand, if it's for your company use, then you might be able to claim much more. So, what they are trying to do is something which will work both for business and for pleasure. So what you've got is a van like this one here with all these holes in the side. That's why it's called cargo camper. Cargo clips. It says it's innovative and flexible. And so what you've got is these holes in the wall like that, and you've got these boxes and other bits which attach to it. Now, each of these holes in the wall can take 150 kilos of weight per hole. So you put something big up that and it's attached to by various, so you can have 300, 450, 600 kilos of carrying capacity. And then, for example, you can get a bed which also comes on chairs and all sorts of other things, which so if you've got a bakery, let's say, for argument's sake, and you're taking your bread around during the week, and at the weekend you use these holes in the wall to put up all your camping stuff, and then you go away camping in it. So that is the logic to it, and obviously the way you do it would suit whatever your application happened to be. So gives you an idea. Now, one thing, for example, if it were me, I would have had, for example, only 2 seats up front. You put captain's chairs on the seats, and that would give you a bit more room. You can do all sorts of things. You can fit in some of these cabinets here. Can fit in water bottles there. You can make a sort of rudimentary shower. There's plenty of kit available for rudimentary toilets, so you can do all of that. So there you can see down the front, and let's come round to the side. Now you can have a tent in the roof like up here. All sorts of possibilities. Of course, I mean, it is possible, I think, to actually get a motorhome on a 100% basis for a company. If you were using it, you had to actually travel, and you could actually produce some evidence that you were no longer going to hotels or something like that. But I can, of course, see problems with tax officers. If anybody does have queries, serious queries within the European Union, I can actually refer you to people who specialise in such things. I mean, I'm not an accountant myself. Let's have a walk around the side here, because I can give you a look at this MAN here. This is on a 4x4 basis. Last year, MAN were actually at this stand here. They launched this vehicle on my right for the first time. You might say, oh, that looks like a VW Crafter. Well, VW own MAN 100%, so that's probably the reason. So I'm having problems with the gimbal at the moment. I don't know why it's doing this. I think there's something wrong with it, but it jumps. Anyways, you can see inside there, you can see what they do, and hopefully you can understand the logic to it. Now, if you're not in a business environment, then certainly that sort of thing isn't for you. But if you have the bakery I mentioned before, carpentry, some kind of loading things, taking things around, something where you need a van, and lots of people do need vans, then you know it might be something which is suitable. And if this means that you're getting, I'm not going to suggest you get 100% tax deductible, because it probably won't be, but if you can get a significant deduction in your taxation because of this, then you might consider it to be something which is worth doing. You see there's a Thetford fridge inside, and that is a two-way fridge, so you can put things in like your habitation batteries and all that. There you go, there's the information about it, all in German of course, and it's www.cargoclips.cc. There you go. Systems, lots of information here. I'm sure they've got some information on the website as well. So they've now been here, this trade fair, for 1 week, and I'm feeling pretty sick at the moment because my hard disk where I put all my films has gone down, and you imagine that, a week's worth of films lost. A week's worth, that's like, without exaggeration, that's 3 months, just about, or 2.5 months of films which I have now lost. Something to say, I put things up late. Well, yes, I do. The reason I put them up late is because I come to something like this and I've got a stack of films to get through. Anyway, well, find out how that one goes, because it'll be well in the future by the time I get round to publishing this. I'll tell you what we'll do, seeing as I'm sort of walking around anyway, I'll just show you, because this is the entrance way. So we've got Hobby here. Behind me we've got this is for the 40th anniversary of Cartago, founded in 1979, and they produced small campers. You've seen my 1992 Cartago, because I've often referred to it in many films. In fact, I actually filmed myself in it sometime. There's the Erwin Heimer Museum. There's actually two. There's one near Würzburg, I think it is, and the other one's in Bad Waldsee. I've got film of that. I've got film of me in my van in the car park there. I've got film of somebody else's van also in the car park. There's Camp Line. I think I'll film that later. Oh, and here's a German camping club. There's a number of camping clubs in Germany, so there's a DCC, and so they have this thing, but information van, let's say Infomobil. I'll show you a couple of things here. Here's a company called Roberta. They have these van conversions. They are sort of more elegantly done than most van conversions, made in Slovenia, and they are very elegant inside. Anyway, you can see them in other films. Here is the star of the show. Oh, there's two stars of the show, and this is one of them. This is a electric van. It's got a range of 300 kilometers. It'll cost 180,000 euros, but if they can get them produced on a larger scale, the price will come down. The price will come down eventually. Anyway, now I have done interviews and all sorts of stuff with this. Let's hope that I can save the information on that. Information stand here for Ducato, and which obviously represents the base of around 3/4 of all motorhomes now on the market, although its market share is dropping. Sorry, not 3/4, 2/3. Sorry, 2/3. It did have a market share of 3/4. Its numbers sold are constantly increasing, but its market share as such is declining. The reason for that is because there's more and more motorhomes on the market. And you've got some of these, don't know what to call them things, tents on top of cars. And down here we've got a van from Deathlefs. Got one of the halls here. There's 10 halls in total, and half have got related to motorhomes, and the other half are related to tourism in general. So the sort of destinations, places you can go to. This is one of the two main entrances and still got another hour or so to run before going home. And on my right you can hear some singing down there. That is, there's a stage and there's people from various countries who are here who are putting on performances. So that sort of gives you an idea of what you can actually see and do here. And above all, I wanted to show you that company, Cargo Clips, and what they do.